Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed, online and at the cinema. From the kids who have assembled enough podcasters for a 5-part harmony, it's Sneeple at the Movies. I'm Ezra.
I'm Helena.
And we have 2 other guests with us this week, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Leah.
I'm Madeline.
This is the part 2 of our 2-part 1-year anniversary, so we're doing movie musicals again. And we thought it would be cute if for our 1-year anniversary we had on the 2 guests we had this year also, because they also have things to say about musicals, and also it's
so many things to say.
Yeah, yeah, this is our 1 year, so...
So you do what you want.
Yeah, so it's special. So yeah, that's what are we doing? Let's just get right into what we've seen. Anybody want to go first in particular? I didn't see anything super exciting, but I saw some things that were funny, so...
You did. You saw something very important.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go first then. So, as you all may remember from our Sherlock Holmes episode, there's this video by H. Barman on YouTube that's almost 2 hours long. That's about why the Sherlock BBC show is garbage. That is the literal title. And I finally watched it, and it is a piece of art. I'm counting it as a movie because it's almost 2 hours long. And then he has a different video on the Pathologic classic HD version, which is a video game I really like, and it's 2 hours long, and I watched an hour and a half of that because then it got into spoiler territory. So those are the movies I saw, which were media analysis films, basically. And then I also, me, Leia, and friend of the show, Ben, watched... Friend of the show, producer.
Producer friend, Ben.
Producer Ben.
It's been demoted.
I would say friendship is a promotion, but that's whatever. We watched a few episodes of Lock and Key. Ben and I really like the comic, so we were like, yeah, hell yeah, let's watch the show. So I enjoyed it. It's different from the comic. I think they definitely made it a little bit more approachable. The comic is a horror comic, and the show is less that.
It was very whimsical.
Correct, yeah. So I really liked it, but that's, it's different. They did some really cool stuff with ways that they adapted things that you can do in comics but you can't do on film. So they had some really creative approaches to the adaptation, which I liked. So that's what I saw.
Nice. I have, as of this morning, there's another episode dropping tonight, which I can't watch right away. Caught up on Star Trek Picard, because I only watch it when I go over to my parents' house and watch it with them. Because, family just be like that or whatever. I do it because I like doing it. But, so that's 6 episodes. I love this show. It's funny. Sometimes it reminds me as much of the Mass Effect games as it does of Star Trek.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch it.
But in a good way. It looks very Mass Effect in a way that's extremely pleasing to me. I love all the characters. I wish that, like a number of things that I've seen recently, I actually, especially this and Star Trek Discovery, I really wish that they had 18 or 20 episodes a season instead of just 14. Because I think that Star Trek has always done such a good job of putting together great ensembles, and it would be even more fun if they had a little more space to breathe and develop as ensembles than you get when there's so much pressure to just get through the plot kind of a thing. But yeah, just everybody on it is really good. All the stuff that they've done with kind of the legacy of the Borg has been great. I'm so into it. And also just they found a lot of really good ways to let Patrick Stewart have Picard be a lot kind of even richer and more 3-dimensional than he was on Next Gen. He was always just very reserved and kind of hard to read, and they found a lot of reasons for him to be kind of more reactive to what's going on around him in a way that's really satisfying to watch, but not the least because he's just like, you know, a fucking pinnacle of acting as a craft. I don't know. I started listening to the Shrieking Shack podcast on a whim, which is a Harry Potter reread podcast. It got recommended to me on Twitter by somebody, and I was just like, okay, you know, I need something that I can kind of just like put on in the background, and it turns out that like I have trouble following narrative podcasts while I'm doing other stuff in a way that I don't have trouble like following non-fiction stuff, so I actually prefer that. I've only listened to like 3 episodes, but it's really fun because they kind of build themselves on as 2 people who used to care a lot about Harry Potter and then kind of just fell away from it. And so it's interesting, they're having fun kind of going back to just like see if there's any magic left, kind of. So that's been really good. And then I watched the first couple of episodes of Hunters on Amazon Prime, which is really pulpy in like a fun way, you know, where it's but it is very pulp. So it's that kind of like edge of fantasy where you're like, you just gotta buy into it or you're just gonna be sitting there going like, what the fuck every 5 minutes. But it's good. I don't know, it's really, really, really violent. Like it's at my like upper tolerance level for screen violence. But I like it, and I don't have as much of a problem with the when did we decide that Al Pacino is Jewish problem as some other people I know, which is admittedly, like, weird. Al Pacino, not a Jew. Just like...
It's been going on for a while.
It's been going on for many years.
Historically, both him and Robert De Niro have played, like, Jewish characters in film and television. Yeah. It's like Italians are the standby for Jewish characters when you don't want to hire Jewish actors.
Well, it's weird. It's like if you need like a character who's a Jew but a badass, you hire an Italian.
Maybe.
Like that's been like it's been a long thing because the sort of coding of one of the anti-Semitic coding things of Jewish like men is that they're like in a certain way like or like not like rough, rugged masculinity. So if you need somebody who can like kick someone's ass, you cast an Italian. And you're like, you're like swarthy or whatever, that works. And I'm like, oh god, fine, whatever. But I will say that this show is Jewish in a way that is recognizable to me personally, in a way that I've found a lot more satisfying than other kinds of, like, it's like, I like the things about it that I like about Inglourious Bastards if I could, if I knew that Inglourious Bastards was made by Jews. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at. And it's one of those things where I also almost opened my mouth on Twitter to be like, I actually think Al Pacino's pretty okay in the Merchant of Venice movie. And then I was like, that's not an argument I want to get into. And the Shakespeare bot... the Shakespeare bot is done tweeting Merchant of Venice, so I'm free of having to think about it all the time. Yeah. Also, I got to explain pulp to one of my roommates as a superhero story in which nobody explicitly has superpowers, but it's still a superhero story. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty fun. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Oh, and I watched somebody play through The Return of the Obra Dinn, like the mystery game on YouTube, which was dope as fuck.
I want to play it so badly. It looks so good.
It's extremely cool. You should play it. That's me.
That's me next. I have not seen anything new. I've just been doing rewatches. I'm trying to get through all of the DVDs that I have suddenly amassed with the holiday season, and also with, like, I got Christmas money from relatives, and that was a bad idea because I'm just going to spend that on either practical stuff like frames or, like, you know, DVDs from everyday music. So I'm working through them. I rewatched the Darjeeling Limited because Ezra, you got me that, the Criterion edition. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's so good. And then last night I watched Spider-Man 2 because that was one of the DVDs that I got for our DVD grab bag this holiday season that nobody wanted and was left over. so I took it home. And now I have both of them, and it's very complete, and it makes me happy. Um, I went to go see Portrait of a Lady on Fire with my mom, and theater's my first time seeing it on the big screen at the living room theater, and that was extremely good. We went to go see it for her birthday, and she really liked it a lot, and it was a really respectful audience, which I was really glad about because I had, had some weird experiences before with Maurice, but everybody was really engaged the whole time, and that was really refreshing. Um, and I've also, yeah, it was a really good experience, and I've I've also been watching Picard, and I also am really enjoying it. The opening credits themselves
Ah,
are a work of art alone,
they're so
especially
pretty.
since especially the music is really beautiful, but especially since like I think 2 episodes ago I realized that they were just telling the entire story of what the whole show is about, and I was like, oh, I see what we're doing. It's really interesting for me to watch the Borg go from like something that, you know, pleasingly terrified me as a child to being the sort of deconstructed thing that we're exploring in Picard. So
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
it is a
Go
show
for
that
it, yeah.
is in rich and rewarding dialogue with its own legacy.
Yes, absolutely. And I love Jonathan Del Arco as a certain legacy character from Next Generation that I won't. I mean, just saying his name is a spoiler, but I won't say who it is.
I
For those
flipped
people,
out
but
in the best possible way.
he's so lovely, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
to have him back.
He's so charming.
I've also been watching The Witcher the rest of my time, so that's what I've been doing.
Proud of you.
Episode 5. I've fallen. It's okay. It's a really weird experience because I don't find. Oh God, I hope Henry Cavill doesn't listen to this podcast.
Oh, we've lost a fan now. There he goes.
Henry Cavill. If you're listening, I'm sorry. I find him a pretty charmless actor, and I don't find him pretty engaging. But having him not say anything and be a charmless character who was nevertheless really endearing for being so charmless, and then surrounding him with extremely charming people is a really good casting decision that I think has paid off with this show immensely. And I really enjoy the dynamic and the world building that this show is doing.
Absolutely,
The dynamic,
agree.
yeah, and the women are great, and I love women, and I'm gay. And that's all I have to say about The Witcher. Surely not, but
Yeah. What have you two done? Yeah.
What have we?
With our lives.
Yeah. What's your sneeps?
What just needs?
What just needs?
I saw Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It was amazing. That was like a month ago, but I haven't been on the show, so. I saw Clue
Oh, so good.
again. That was a rewatch.
Flames on the sides of my face.
I really enjoyed it. Of course. And I read a lot of books. I read a 800-page book.
Woohoo!
Finally finished it.
Yay!
Somebody asked me what I read, and the answer was a lot.
Fair. Very fair.
Enough for you and I combined, because I don't read as much anymore. So
Well, also Matty and I saw a concert.
we did. Yeah, we went to go see Saint Motel last night, which is worth a mention because there were 6 costume changes,
Oh my
and
god.
it almost had a plot. So it was a little bit more performative than like your average concert. It was a good show. I had a great time.
It was a great time. There was the crowd surfing
Right.
water, like whitewater raft with UFO lights.
Yeah,
Oh my
at one
God.
point the lead singer changed into like a astronaut costume, and they like put the boat on the crowd, and he climbed in and then went around the crowd in the boat.
And then did a striptease with the astronaut suit.
Yeah, and then did a striptease with the astronaut suit. He was wearing like his regular clothes underneath, and he turned around. He had his mic in one hand and his boots in the other.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great. They had a narrator that would like come over the speaker system because the whole thing is that the new album is like a movie kind of theme. I'll have to tell you about something on the CD later.
Yes.
And so they were narrating pieces of it like they were different, like, super, like, pulpy, like, genre films. So they had, like, a space one, they had, like, an action one, they had, like, it started off with, like, climbing Mount Everest, they had, like, all kinds of things like that. So it was really good, but it was a little bit more, I don't want to say it was a musical, because it wasn't, but...
Staged.
Yeah, it was staged in a way that most concerts are not.
That's awesome.
Having you describe it like that does kind of remind me of the Star Kid show I saw at that theater.
Mm-hmm.
That was also like a concert tour with something like a plot, but that wasn't really why you were there.
I'm so jealous.
It was a bonus that there was, like, kind of a... something akin to a plot, yeah.
They did all look very good in khaki shorts.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Birds of Prey, which I know Ezra talked about last week, and I thought they were spot on. The only thing I have to add is that the soundtrack fucking slapped, and I've been listening to it nonstop since I saw it. It's very good. I've also been watching this new TV show, Lego Masters, which is a Lego competition show. It's really great. There's 2 dudes from Portland on it. They're the Bearded Builders. It's very cute.
God, of course they are.
And
Is that the one hosted by Will Arnett?
Will Arnett hosts it. It's so good and charming, and they're just building these amazing Lego structures, and they all have this cool twist on them. Like the first week, they were all making different parts of a theme park that all kind of came together at the end, and this week they gave them half of an object, like an object that had been sawed in half, and the sawed off side had studs built into it so that you had to build off of it and make the other half, but not just to mirror it, to like tell a story and make it different in a cool way. It's really clever and really fun. As you can probably hear in my voice, I've been a little bit under the weather, so that was very good, like sicky food. I also watched a bunch of Monster Factory while under the weather because McElroys are the best medicine for the sickness.
Monster Factory, also very good sick food.
Yes, it's good sick food. Yeah, and then yesterday I just slept all day. I've also been reading a lot for my job, like a good kid, so.
Reading.
Reading.
How many of us do it? Almost everybody on this podcast. Some of us watch video game analysis videos.
I don't do that.
There's room in your life for both.
Reminds me that I have some Brian David Gilbert to binge that I haven't caught up on.
Oh yeah, me too. But...
I was just making a point that all forms of media consumption are valid.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Very true. I was going to make a point that I like Brian David Gilbert, but he also fills me with this, like, sort of bottomless rage that I couldn't figure out why until I realized that it was just gender envy.
That's very fair.
You do have the same, like, floppy hair, so I understand.
Some of the same stuff.
I just, my brain just looks at him and goes, I'm supposed to look like that.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's not, like, bad. I was just like, why does he make me mad? And it was like, jealousy.
You'd rock the mustache.
Thank you. I'm not sure that I would be able, like, if I grew facial hair, I feel like there would be very little in between it and, like, shaving twice a day and, oh god, Ezra has a whole beard. Just based on, like, my dad.
Amazing.
The Mandy Patinkin beard.
Please.
One of those people that I don't entirely understand why I'm attracted to, and it's because I'm only attracted to him when he's, like, moving around and talking. I don't find still photos of him very attractive, but he has this presence that I'm like, no, yeah, he's cute.
It's the energy rather than just, like, you know, some people are just, like, hot, and then other people are, like, compelling.
Yes, because he's not unattractive, but he's not someone that I would usually, I don't know, for whatever reason, be like, yes, that, you know, I don't know, but it's moving around.
We've lost another listener. Brian David Gilbert has logged off. We didn't say he was hot.
Saying he's got the vibes, Helena.
God, we're just losing him left and right.
Just say something else.
The podcast is tanking before our eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Ben will cry.
Which celebrity will the Sneeple take out next? Stay tuned.
Well, based on the notes of this Google Doc, it might be literally everyone who was in the Les Mis movie. We're coming for all of you.
Do we want to start off with talking about Les Mis? It's kind of a big
It is
topic.
the big fucking fuck ugly elephant like prop in the room.
I'm gonna say
What was the point of that?
I'm gonna say fighting words. Anne Hathaway can stay.
Oh, no. Anne
Yes,
Hathaway,
no.
of course, can stay.
That's the only song from the movie recording that I have is her version of I Dreamed a Dream.
Whoever decided that the camera should be crawling up her left nostril the entire time is getting the boot, but she can stay. Yeah, so we had like an outline or whatever, and then I just busted right through the outline like the Kool-Aid man hollering about how bad the Les Mis movie was.
And you know what? You're valid.
Here.
Don't you mean that you
look-
busted through the outline like the National Guard?
I am going
Oh my God,
to kill
Leah.
everyone. Just all
To be
of
fair,
it.
I think that this is connected to the first thing that was left over from last time about the golden age of musicals that I wanted to talk about, because there was, I specifically thinking about My Fair Lady, which I really like, and also ones like the adaptation of Oliver and Hello Dolly, which are less. I like Hello Dolly, but they're less well regarded in terms of Hollywood history, because they were so concerned with truly adapting the staginess of it, and to the point where they kept in bits from the actual show and kind of made it look like a stage show at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes that was fine, sometimes it didn't work. Les Mis goes in the fucking opposite.
Tom
Just like
Bergman needs to
Phantom.
hire someone who actually knows how to operate a camera.
Yeah, it's
There,
not
I
even
said
doing
it.
something interesting like the Chicago adaptation did, or the Moulin Rouge movie did,
Yeah.
where they was using the art of cinema as a way of making a musical. You know,
Or like
it was like,
Cabaret makes a choice to have all of the music become diegetic music,
mhm.
and it works for the world of the film.
Well, I was gonna say, or honestly, it's not even like something like Phantom, which is objectively a bad film, but does a really good job with the cinematography of it and with translating it into these beautiful wide sets that really feel like you're in this city, in this opera house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm in Paris when I watch Les Mis.
No. Good God, no.
Where do you feel like you are?
I feel
Leigh?
like I'm watching Les Mis
You know what?
Hell.
in
That-
a basement.
That beginning part where they're in what is clearly a remodeled dam and it's the prison that they're breaking into. I'm like, oh, I'm in Mad Max, I guess.
No, I'm in fucking Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah! It's
Look.
just a dam!
I have a take here, and the take is that the original staging of Les Mis was pretty revolutionary for theater at the time I almost just said that it aired. But the turntable, being introduced and all of that, Les Mis premiered in 87,
Something like that,
which
yeah.
is 2 years after Phantom, I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So those two musicals really kind of changed like what people could do with musicals.
Oh, absolutely.
And so to have it be adapted into this like boring, gray, matte thing.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not even lit well.
Not even lit well. It's just such a disappointment. And the real standouts, like, I know Matty has things to say about in support of Hugh Jackman here, which I also support.
I love a huge Jackman.
Huge act man.
But
Yeah.
the real standouts are the actors who came from Broadway.
Agreed.
The real standouts in the cast are the actors who have been any of those roles on Broadway. Shout out to Killian Donnelly, who's played almost every role in Les
Everyone's
Mis.
favorite swing, Killian Donnelly. We love you.
The one listener that you'll still have.
Yeah.
Killian Donnelly has logged
And
on.
Hadley Fraser.
And Hadley Fraser.
And
Yeah.
Hadley Fraser, who I believe has been our abounding affection for Hadley Fraser, I believe has been discussed on this podcast before.
Look, we're all some variety of theater kid. We're all love Hadley Fraser.
We are all love Hadley Fraser.
Yeah.
I fucking, if anybody wants to send me money so I can get the City of Angels recording from the Donmar warehouse, like, I will give you, like, you know. Yeah, so no, the comment on here just says, why are Hadley, Fraser, and Killian Donnelly giving performances, like, 10,000 times better than anybody else? And it's because, like, I just, you can tell who gets along with the material of Les Mis in that movie and who doesn't, and the answer is most of the people just don't. Also, I just really viscerally remembered that Bertie Carvel is in that movie for like 3.5 seconds as the dude who like tries to accuses Fantine of assaulting him.
Wait, what?
I'm like 87% sure that's Bertie Carvel.
IMDb.
Who? Yeah, can somebody look? Who? Also, for the record, I realized that he. I actually saw him on the West End in Matilda as Madame Trunchbull.
You're absolutely right, Ezra. He plays that guy.
We love you, Bertie Carvel.
God damn it,
Madeline. I think you wanted to say something about Aaron Tveit.
No, so I was scrolling through the IMDb page, and I have managed to forget, like, half of the people who are in this movie. I totally forgot that Sacha Baron Cohen was Thénardier.
Yeah.
I somehow forgot that Aaron Tveit was Enjolras. Like,
yeah.
How did that leave? I love Aaron Tveit.
How
How
did
did that leave my mind? I forgot Amanda Seyfried was in this movie.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Madeline, for what I'm about to say, but I hate him in that movie.
Oh, I don't like him in that movie. I just like him a lot.
I don't think he's a good Enjolras, but
yeah, no, I don't think that's a good role for him. I just really like him a lot, so I'm surprised I forgot he was in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's legit. I just was, so many people wanted to fuck him so much on my on my fucking Tumblr back in the day, and I was just like, not with a 10-foot pole would I touch that man. And so I just got really annoyed about it. My whole tag for a while was me reblogging production stills and complaining that his jacket didn't fit right. And then I watched the movie and I was correct, his jacket didn't fit right.
Yeah, well, Matty.
So speaking of Tumblr fandom, Madeline, were you in the Les Mis Tumblr fandom?
No, I have been in a lot of Tumblr fandoms, and I've seen a lot, but I was spared that one.
So that's why you forgot that because
Yeah.
I was on the outskirts of it, and I will literally never forget.
That's fair.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's impossible to forget that he was in that and that George Blyden was in that.
Hey, can I briefly offer my Les Mis fandom bona fides for a second?
Yes.
I've been in the Les Mis fandom on and off since 2005.
Yeah, your Les Mis
I've
opinions
seen it all.
are literally the, like, I've done my time, 12 years in the discourse.
In Azkaban.
But, like, literally.
Watching the Les Mis fandom, which I firmly believe the Les Mis fandom specifically was, like, patient zero for a number of deeply, deeply toxic fandom trends in terms of how people related to each other in a way that really hurt a lot of people very deeply. And I was just sitting over here going like...
No, Supernatural started in 2007, Maddie.
No, I'm not checking
2005.
that. No, you're about to get a worse take.
Okay.
Is it
Oh
Homestuck?
God!
No, hold on.
Just thinking about, like, to this day, I'm just shocked at the degree to which the Les Mis fandom just ate itself alive.
Yeah.
Over just a litany of things, and a whole bunch of people convinced themselves that they were doing something righteous as they just, like, fucking turned on each other like the goddamn mob in Julius Caesar.
Yeah, I think that's a fandom where it was very easy to trick yourself into believing you were doing activism by criticizing other people's fandom opinions.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into the details because that would take hours and that's not what we're here for. And also, I don't need to relive that. But, yeah. Maddie's being very patient.
Hey, you guys know what came first?
What?
The Lorax.
Shut the fuck up. You were... Maddie?
Yeah.
Is the Lorax a musical?
Yes.
Matty, I forgot that
well, you want me to say it
existed.
is. It is in fact a musical.
And remember, what's the name of that guy that everybody wanted to fuck from the Lorax
The
movie?
Onceler.
Yeah.
So when we first came up with the idea for this podcast, one of the ongoing jokes was at one point Maddie's going to get an episode where Maddie is going to be able to go through the timeline of what the fuck happened with the Lorax fandom. Because I wasn't involved, but I had a lot of mutuals who were, so I saw everything.
God.
You know what I just said about the Les Mis fandom eating itself alive? Yeah, the Lorax fandom did that, but it was fucking itself.
It was disgustingly kind of both.
The sexy Ouroboros, the Vorboros.
Madeline!
Wow, you managed to take my very bad bit and make it worse.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so that's not happening this episode. That is a warning, and it is a threat. But also, I would say there is something to be said for Supernatural was an early kind of beginning of that, and then you had, like, the Onceler, not the Lorax fandom, it was the Onceler fandom, like, really started to kick that into gear. And then, like...
The Ask blogs. The golden age of Ask blogs.
Yes. Homestuck too. Homestuck was a contributor to that, I would say. I could speak to 2 of those.
I feel like I just looked into the abyss, and the abyss sort of looked back and waggled its fucked up CGI fingers at me.
Sort of flirty.
Yeah, it's me. In your mind's eye, it's me doing that.
Sort of flirty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you wearing a dumb top hat?
I mean, the Les Mis fandom also did kind of splinter into, like, the people who were in the fandom for the musical, or for the book, or for the group of 9 delicious twinks.
Or the fucking people who had to get their own kink meme.
Do you really want me to say that on air?
No, I just wanted to look you in the eye and make you acknowledge that it happened.
Yeah, and I was there, and I read it for all of you.
You did that for us!
Oh my god.
Yeah, God, Les Mis fandom. Anyway, so, Les Mis, let's talk about...
Other movie musicals?
Okay, everybody gets to go around the table and have one Les Mis hot take. Leah, you had something else you wanted to say first, though.
Oh, no, I wanted to get into a little bit into the nuance of a couple of the choices in Les Mis. But if we don't have time for that, I totally understand, because this is something I can talk about for hours.
I mean, we can make a lot of this podcast episode be a Les Mis sort of deep dive if we want to, and then talk about other stuff later. Because I feel like you have really good Les Mis opinions.
I think that we should do a whole episode about Les Mis specifically because it is so complicated.
Well, there have been a lot of movie adaptations.
Right. There have been so many adaptations of Les Mis that it
Has anyone watched the Les Mis anime?
No, but I want to,
Because
actually.
I have.
5 minutes of it.
The dog is named Kiss Kiss.
Oh my god.
Cosette has a dog as a child. She has a pet dog, and his name is Choo Choo, which is French for Kiss Kiss.
That's really cute.
Anyway, so that's what I would say is, like, we should do a whole separate thing about just Les Mis because it is there's so many things going on there.
Yeah, so stay tuned, beloved listeners, for our Les Mis episode coming to you at some point soon.
Oh god.
I like the idea of everyone gets a hot take, though, and then we move on.
Yeah, I would say if you have some, like, particular points, this is, like, your area of expertise, so if you have some stuff about, like, that
your hot take can have multiple bullet points.
Yeah.
I think that the thing I was going to say is a little too complicated to get into because it has to do with who's assigned certain musical themes and how Killian Donnelly manages to express those musical themes, even though the entire segment is cut.
That's impressive.
Holy shit.
Wait, which segment?
Take the bastard now and shoot him.
Yes.
Sorry, I've spent so long trying to, like, delete all of my memories of the Les Mis movie, but that one just kept coming, like, slamming back, and it's like, man, yeah, there's Killian Donnelly, like,
mouthing Enjolras no as he tries to beat up Javert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a whole sequence that allows the kind of the blame and the like role of villainy in the dynamic of the show to be swapped a little bit when the members of the revolution capture Javert. And in the original score, there's a really wonderful swapping of themes where the the theme of the oppressor is given to the revolutionaries, and the theme of the victim is given to Javert. And that was even cut on the Broadway show. And, you know, there's a little bit of physical acting there that kind of implies it. But they cut that whole sequence. They cut the music, the score of that whole sequence in the movie, but Killian Donnelly still manages to get across his opinion, which is we have principles and we can't do that. And we can't be the violent ones. Which I'm realizing is not going to make sense to anyone who's not super, super familiar with this show. So...
No, I think it does. I think a lot of Les Mis boils down to violence and who is the perpetrator and who is the victim and what is justified and what is not. So
what is justice?
All the violence is ultimately the same violence because it's always set to the same tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really well said.
And I don't want Cameron McIntosh to come for me, so I'm not going to sing it.
Yeah, I won't either, but it's stuck in my fucking head now.
Yeah, Les Mis may be public domain, but the music belongs to Cameron McIntosh. If you'll allow me one more bullet point, I did see... I think that the main problem that I have with the Les Mis movie, other than that it's bad, is that it doesn't do anything interesting with the material. I saw a really wonderful production of Les Mis in Dallas, Texas, in 2014, I believe.
The one shining year where you could have non-replica productions.
Yeah, so it was a non-replica production, which, for the non-theater folk listening, means that it's not done with the same costumes and set pieces and blocking as the original Broadway show. So it was set in the modern day, and they didn't change a word or a note of the score or the lines. They didn't change anything, but the way it was set of the text of the show, the way it was set in modern day just kind of really shone a lot of light on the fact that all of the oppression that happens in Les Mis was still occurring. And I happened to see it, you know, the summer of 2014, which is when a lot of the, you know, police violence stuff started really coming to light. And there were a lot of protests around that and a lot of national media. And it was a really deeply emotional and, what's the word? Empowering? Evocative? Yeah, experience. Because it made me realize something which I'd never thought of, which is that the end of the show has a reprise of Do You Hear the People Sing? Where all of the characters who have died come back on stage to sing this song. And whenever I see it in the replica production, it always feels like just, you know, one of those closing numbers where everyone can hold hands. Curtain call. And in the movie, they made it everybody's on the, you know, the great barricade in the sky. But in this non-replica production where the inmates were wearing orange jumpsuits and, you know, the scene of the first scene in Paris featured a family getting evicted, you know, just these very real of the moment modern problems that I realized that final song is a call to action. You know, it's the characters stepping off of the stage into the audience and reaching out their hands and asking, will you join in our crusade? And that just kind of like changed how I saw the end of the show. Like, you know, it's not even a happy ever after. It's not a
neat little wrap up of the show. It is opening the end of the show to a continuation to...
The work is not yet done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just, you know, they all died, you know.
Yeah.
They all, that part ended, but it continues.
Yeah. Yeah, so while I would love to talk about the intricacies of the theming and the various productions and the gay subtext of Les Mis for hours and hours and hours, what are all y'all's hot takes?
That ties neatly into my hot take, which was actually just about staging and about things like replica productions, and how I do think that impacted that film, even in moments that weren't, I can't think of any moments that were specifically direct choreography, correct me if I'm wrong, but this sort of like small box idea of it that, yeah, I don't feel like they got out of their box enough. And just thinking about the expectation to continually preserve this thing in the way that it was originally made, when that's only ever going to be recreating something instead of creating something new. Just something about that.
Yeah, the turntable is amazing, and it's a really great piece. And they did restage it recently, and it's bad. But yeah, like modernizing the material, and the message versus.
Yeah, and like if they were going to try to really set it in Paris and have all of Paris to play with, there was so much more that they could have done. Like, it just felt very close-minded in its staging. Like, this is Les Mis and this is how you do Les Mis, you know?
That's the only way they could get Cameron Mackintosh to approve it. Sorry, Cameron Mackintosh, if you're listening.
Oh no, another listener! Oh no, there he goes. Cameron Mackintosh is logged off.
Good.
Anyone else got hot takes?
Logged off.
Maddie,
hot takes?
Yeah, my hot take is that Russell Crowe isn't that bad. He just can't sing, and that's not his fault because they didn't train anybody to sing for that movie.
That's valid.
He's in a band. It's a rock band. He has a rock voice for rock music. It's not a Broadway style voice that he has. And
trained to be a Broadway singer. You didn't see this, but I just turned to Leah and mouthed "what?" like very big.
You're blowing Maddie's mind over here.
With the
yeah.
Rock band?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. Last time I checked.
I didn't know!
Oh, yeah.
Crowe's band.
You're one
Google.
of today's lucky 10,000 to...
maybe they're not... Oh, no, maybe they're not together anymore. It was called 30-Odd Foot of Grunts, so it was from 92 to 2005, looks
That's
like.
pretty good...
So he'd been out of singing practice by the time Les Mis came around.
Perhaps.
True.
Also, he was not a trained Broadway singer, and they didn't clearly spend the time to try and train him. So that's my hot take.
Okay, Matty, if you go onto Russell Crowe's Wikipedia page, there's a whole section titled "Music," so you can look at that because it's much more involved than I originally thought. So, and I can't read this entire thing.
There's drama. So yeah, that's my hot take.
Ezra?
I guess my hot take, my short hot take is that changing the lyric from "I have bought your soul for God" to "I have saved your soul for God" invalidates the entire premise of Les Mis, which is that that almost all violence is like rooted in economic inequality. That's like one of the theses of this show, of this story, indeed, is that you cannot have is that economic inequality will always incentivize unrighteous behavior. And so that was just like an awful cop out. And my other hot take about this is that I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. I ugly cried the whole time, all 3 times I saw it. And it's really interesting to me that sometimes there are like storytelling experiences that I have an incredibly strong emotional response to, even when I'm like, this sucked. Which is the same thing that I did with the last Hobbit movie, which was I ugly cried the whole fucking time. People were like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, that was one of the worst movies I've ever paid money to see. So yeah, I don't know. It's just that it's interesting to think about how there's certain things that like just get me that have nothing to do with like something's strengths as a piece of storytelling. Also, and then I have attempted to phonetically write Frothy's beautiful delivery of the line, "We need all the furniture you can throw down."
Furniture you can throw down.
It's so good.
Also, Anne Hathaway good. That's my last hot take.
Anne Hathaway good. Yeah, there we go. I co-sign that one. Anne Hathaway good. Many people in this movie good. Many more people not good.
My A, B, and C hot take, one of which is all pretty short, one of which is longer than the other. My A hot take is that my favorite recording of Stars is Roger Allam in the original London cast, and there's, that's it. has nothing to do with the movie. I just like that a lot. My second hot take is that I really like musicals are not a genre which needs or should, I think, take itself too seriously, and it upsets me when people try and veer away from the inherent campiness of musicals, even when they are dealing with serious subject matter. They're still a very bombastic and theatrical thing, and I feel like most of the musical movie adaptations I have disliked have been trying to take the color and suspension of disbelief out of the musical genre. And I mean, I don't think that Moulin Rouge is a perfect movie by any means, but one of the things that I really appreciate about it is like is like you have this art form in which you can do all of these things, so do them. You don't have to adhere to these. They could have put a fucking turntable in the Les Mis movie. I don't know if it would have worked, but they could have tried it, or the cinematic equivalent of a turntable. So, like I wish that people would lean into that more, and that I'm upset by the diversion away from the campiness of it, because I think it's
Can I
good.
butt in for a second before your
Yes.
third point? Because on that, I think tying into what you guys were talking about last week with people who are like, I just don't get it, why are they singing? I think I have people in my life who have that hold up sometimes with musicals too, and I think that hold up comes up a lot more when the musical itself is not buying into that campiness and not buying into its own premise and not doing out what it sets out to do, because then it does feel, clunky and unnatural when people just suddenly start to sing. It's like, we're not in a world, we don't feel like we're in a world where that happens, so why is it happening?
Yeah, Outlander works.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and even if it's not campy, like campy is not a word I would use maybe to describe, say, like Company as an example, but Company still embraces what it is.
We have to feel like we're in a
so
world where people burst into song when they have too many emotions and they can't.
Exactly. My third hot take is that I like George Blagden, who played Grantaire, and he wrote and he did a cover of "I Will Follow You Into the Dark," which had a verse that was specialized to Grantaire and Enjolras, and I heard a sound over there, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Ezra's forehead hitting the table.
Hey, Leah put her head on the table too.
I thought that's maybe what it was.
Wait, Leia, did you and I just did we just in unison head desk?
A little bit.
I love you.
I'm looking at the lyrics right now.
Hey, remember when George Blagden released the missing verse of "Drink With Me" 4 years after the movie came out?
Yeah, and he just said with a locked
Vimeo with the caption was, "The password is the name of the cafe."
Yeah.
That's
George
gay.
Blagden can listen to our podcast.
Yeah, honestly, my one true Les Mis hot take is that the biggest Les Mis nerd is in fact George Blagden.
Yeah.
The video, I just typed in George Blagden "Drink With Me" into Google, and one of the video results is Les Mis, but only George Blagden, and it's 2 minutes and 31 seconds long.
Put it in our group Discord.
I'm just thinking about Hadley Fraser and the mustache again. He doesn't even have any. He has one line. He functionally doesn't have any lines.
Okay, we all have a group hot take, and the hot take is that Hadley Fraser is the best part of the Les Mis movie. We have to move on.
We gotta do it.
Move on.
We gotta do it.
We have to do it. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Wait, I get one more because everyone got 3. The last one is that Hugh Jackman, I love you, and maybe you should have played Javert instead of Valjean, but that's not your fault. Please listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can move on.
Now we can move on.
Are we moving on to so we had this list is categorized under musicals musical movies I like, flawed but I like them anyway, and the ones that shat the bed.
Well, we're already in the ones that shat the bed area. We might as well do a quick run through of those ones. Then
And maybe work our way up.
work our way up. Get to the
Yeah,
good
that's
ones.
true. Hey, can I take a second to get extremely angry about the Beauty and the Beast live action?
Absolutely.
Please.
It's so ugly.
Hey, Ezra, though, it's real ugly, though, right? It's super
so
ugly.
Like, it's just, everything about it looks like it was, you know what it is? It looks like it was color corrected by the same person who does the Marvel movies, because it looked like it was filmed in a Walmart parking lot.
Yep. Maddie's choking. You're correct.
It's just, like, also, I mean, this is another one where it's like, I am occasionally attracted to men, but many times the popular, like, trends in who people want to fuck are baffling to the point of nausea to me.
Talking about Dan Stevens over here?
I would not look at Dan Stevens naked if the other option was never seeing another naked human being in my life.
Like this so much.
Well, that's the last of our listeners. Dan Stevens has just left the room.
Just also, he's bad!
Like Adam Driver on his
in
NPR
that
interview, he's walking out of the room.
Bye, I'll wave and laugh. He's just
killed him.
He just killed him. Oh my god.
He already died on Downton Abbey.
I didn't mind him, but I am very angry that they wrote, in my opinion, extremely inferior songs to plug in for the Broadway songs.
Yeah, agreed.
Look, we just, everybody, beloved listeners, please take a moment later, not in the middle of this podcast, to go listen to the original Broadway cast recording of Beauty and the Beast and appreciate my man, Terrence Mann, who I adore a lot. God, I love that man. He's just, like, one of the all-time premier musical theater actors because the versatility of his voice as a storytelling instrument is unreal. Anyway, sorry. Listen to him singing If I Can't Love Her and just lose it. It's so good. It's so evocative. It's so beautiful. And it fits the rest of the musical so well. And then you had, like, whatever that, I don't even remember what the fucking song was called, because I was just sitting there like, this sucks. Why didn't you put the other one that exists that's good?
Yeah. Same with Home. They gave Belle some dumb line, like, really, really tiny song that didn't fit when Home is absolutely gorgeous.
Real quick, to make sure I didn't hallucinate it, did they invent a time-traveling book in this movie where she, like, visits, or not time traveling,
she
but,
saw
like,
a vision,
teleporting book?
Yeah, of the house where she was with her dad when her mom had the plague and the plague doctor showed up.
Okay. What the fuck happened in this movie?
Man, you know what was good? Like, okay, so, like, that movie was bad. Kevin Kline as her dad was, like, redeemable.
Yeah, that was alright.
Kevin Kline is her dad?
Yeah, that's her dad. Her dad is fucking Kevin Kline. I love Kevin Kline.
Isn't Josh Gad in this movie?
Yeah, he's loosely gay in the most homophobic way you can make a character gay.
It's so...
Yeah,
Jesus, it's so homophobic.
Here's the thing about that. People are extremely dumb. And the fact that Howard Ashman wrote the lyrics to the original Beauty and the Beast, and that there is the entire song of Gaston is so fucking gay that there is one line in it, of course, where, oh god, what's the line about the three guys? You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on. Yeah. And this is like, yeah. And then where he says, I use antlers in all of my decorating, as he lounges back in a big chair. Like, come on, you guys. And then they're like, oh no, but he's gay now, because we made him twirl, or whatever. And it's like...
Well, no, and Gaston didn't get to be gay.
That has always been homosexual propaganda, the whole time.
Yeah.
That was the thing, though. They didn't make Gaston gay, or rather, I'm sorry, Gaston's always been gay. They didn't allow him to lean into his homosexuality, or bisexuality, what have you, his obvious romance with LeFou. They just made LeFou pining over him, and then at the end, put him with the one character who, when all the men got shoved into dresses, the one character who was like, ooh, I like this! They got to have a dance together, and that was supposed to be, like, the epitome of romance.
Yeah. I mean, it would have all been bad because, I mean, not bad. It's all troublesome territory, as we talked about before, because it would still be gay villains, of course. But I like gay villains too. I'm sorry, I know that they're, troublesome, but I
troublesome
like them.
Is a trope, but when they're done well, I like them.
Yeah, and it's an interesting, that song, Gaston, in of itself is a fun exploration of just mob mentality and masculinity as a cover for bullshit. So I just Anyway, I think that the original Beauty and the Beast is very well done.
It is.
The
well
original
written.
is so good, and the fucking live action one is just unhinged.
I have
Like-
2 points, if I may. My first being that I think it's time for me to bring up my point that the animated Beauty and the Beast is the only animated film to ever be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, and is in fact the reason that they then created the Best Animated Picture Oscar, much as Harry Potter got so popular on the New York Times bestseller list that they were like, well, now there's a kids bestseller list and you can go beyond that. So that's how good the original Beauty and the Beast is. It's the best. And then also just my take on the Disney live action in general, in terms of quality and related, I think that they do well when they pay enough homage to the source material to feel clearly connected, but then tell their own story and do their own thing, like Cinderella. Honestly, I thought that Aladdin was more in the vein of this. It went a little more heavy on the homage side, but like less so than I would have thought from the way the previews were cut. And I think that Beauty and the Beast, the moments where it actually is enjoyable to me are when it's doing that, but they're few and far between, trying to be a shot-for-shot remake of an already perfect film, with Emma Watson for some reason auto-tuned when she sounded fine anyway. She just didn't sound exactly like the animated film version.
So, bad news, everyone. I just remembered that the Hunchback of Notre Dame live-action remake is happening.
Cursed knowledge.
And that's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah,
And
it's cursed knowledge.
Did I hallucinate, or did they cast Zendaya as Esmeralda?
Oh my god, I don't know. Let's Google.
Yeah, let's ask the Google. Hold on. Group
I may
Google.
have hallucinated.
Yeah, somebody else group Google this. The other thing I was going to say, because we can't go 10 minutes without me making a joke, is you were talking about the fucking gay representation in Beauty and the Beast, and I was thinking about... You okay? Yeah. I was thinking about how they keep being like, oh, Disney's first gay character, and it was this text post on Tumblr that said, any of us could be chosen to be Disney's next first gay character. Be careful, kings. And I just think about it many times.
Beautiful. Hey, you know what is really upsetting that I just remembered? Literally every single second of Ewan McGregor as fucking the Candlestick.
Also talk about Disney's first gay characters. Come on.
No, you know what's really beautiful is somewhere in the depths of Facebook there exists a photograph of the production of the youth theater production of Beauty and the Beast that some of my friends were in, of the young men playing Cogsworth and Lumiere making out backstage because they were dating. In costume. They're just kissing in costume. It's really... They're like 16. It's really cute. Yeah, it's ridiculously adorable. Yeah, Ewan McGregor and his French accent, but it's your drunk uncle making fun of French people.
If the trivia...
Zendaya seems to be fan casting only.
Okay.
It does not seem to be
If
confirmed.
the trivia on IMDb is extremely interesting
Wait,
and contradictory.
For the 1980... I can't even find the
It's tricky to find because we don't know what year it's coming out. Nicolas Coster-Waldau is under consideration to play Phoebus. Jane Lynch is rumored to play the comical gargoyle Laverne. Jane Lynch is one of them. Josh Gad, which I think we already knew, is confirmed to be in consideration to play Quasimodo. Simon Russell Beale is possibly considered to play the Archdeacon, which would actually slap.
That would slap like a ridiculous amount. I kind of hate it, but I
Toast,
hate it.
toast,
We missed two.
Toast.
Simon Russell Beale.
I don't know who that is. We're gonna look it up really quick. Please continue.
I'm sorry, Josh Gad as Quasimodo?
Yeah.
Possibly. These are all names that have either expressed interest or are in consideration. None of this is confirmed. It's also all on the IMDb trivia, so take that with a grain of salt. Jason Alexander is rumored to reprise the role of the comical gargoyle Hugo. Gal Gadot expressed interest in playing Esmeralda.
Boy, look, I'm not. I
have 3 more to get through.
I'm gonna gently put the lid back on that can of worms, and then tap
Ed Helms has expressed interest in playing the comical gargoyle. Stop calling them comical gargoyles.
The dramatic gargoyles.
Yeah. As opposed to the
sci-fi fantasy gargoyles.
The silent gargoyle. The only fucking gargoyles who... Okay, anyway. Lin-Manuel Miranda
historical pastoral
has expressed interest to play the role of Clopin. Oh my god.
I will be a one-man riot. Let me just whisper this real
Wait, one more.
gently. Lin-Manuel Miranda, not that good of a singer.
You know,
We lost another one, guys.
We lost him last time when I went apeshit on the Hamilton
I
production.
like him. I like him
I
a
didn't
lot.
say I didn't like him.
That's
I
fair.
said that compared to many of the other people he's often cast against, he's not that strong of a singer.
I think that he is not as strong of a classical Broadway voice. I think
That is true.
very fair.
yes,
Oh
I
yeah,
would
sorry.
agree with
That's absolutely 100% how I'm judging this.
And I knew that was what you meant, but like I think that is very fair.
Chris Hemsworth has expressed interest in the role of Captain Phoebus. No, I want there to be one Chris in this movie, and I don't want it to be Chris Hemsworth.
Wait, who's Ed Helms?
He's the guy from The Office who played the show tune singing character who I have a lot of common with. I don't know. If you've never seen The Office,
I've never seen The Office.
then I can't help you.
That's
I
fine.
don't know.
No, I'm looking.
I mean, he's in The Hangover, but
I've never
like,
seen that either. I'm looking at a photo of this
Yeah.
man, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to trust that you're famous because I don't know who the hell
no,
you are.
he's very funny. I really like Ed Helms. He's a good actor, and he actually has a nice.
Why
voice,
are we
but,
keeping
like,
the gargoyle?
Because we can't adapt anything and examine what worked and what didn't about the original things. It's about adapting everything shot for shot so that nobody can say that anything is interesting.
The Hunchback video is the only Lindsay Ellis video I've seen in full.
Weren't
It's very
they
good.
originally talking about, like, possibly making an adaptation of the book instead? Clearly that's been thrown out the window.
I don't know if that was ever the case. I feel like I read an article where they were looking at adapting that along with, like, adapting their version of it along with other elements from the book, but like,
Quasimodo dies at the end, and so do I.
oh yeah, making it darker. or
The
some
movie
shit. I
kills
remember
me
that.
instantaneously upon, like, credits rolling.
But on the bright side, maybe it'll show up in Kingdom Hearts 4.
No!
Madeline, I really appreciate how you have your priorities stacked. I think they're very
Thank you
good.
very much. I appreciate that.
Hey, you know what else is on this list? Sweeney Todd. You want to know what the single worst behaved theater experience I've ever participated in was?
Was it Sweeney Todd?
Oh,
Oh,
you
no.
best believe it was when me and all of my asshole teenager theater nerd friends went to go see Sweeney Todd.
God.
We were insufferable. But
Did
you
you
know
say-
what? So was that movie.
Did you say, Gusra?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
I think maybe occasionally, but mostly we were just, like, loudly annoyed at how badly handled it was. In terms of, like, things that have... Sweeney Todd has a very, very strong presence as a piece of art. It has very strong kind of opinions baked into it. And putting the sort of very strong idiosyncratic aesthetic sensibility of a god-dang Tim Burton film on top of it is just, like, makes your brain hurt. Also, there are musicals where you can get away with people who are not trained to sing musical theater, and most of the Sondheim canon isn't it.
It's not that.
Look,
yeah.
I'm just... You know who can do a better rendition of The Worst Pies in London than Helena Bonham Carter? Me! Like, 'cause somebody trained me to sing musical theater for several years.
Yeah.
I think we said this earlier, but the best part about the Sweeney Todd movie is Jamie Campbell Bower's hair.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Oh, and just the existence of Alan.
And the existence of Alan Rickman, and they cut his creepiest song, so...
This is true, which is usually cut, to be fair, but, like,
That
it would have
movie,
been.
shockingly enough, like, really defanged a lot of how creepy Sweeney Todd is. Like, you see that movie and you're like, oh, that's fairly creepy, and then you watch the stage show and you're like, oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, it's because...
I was just going to say, I think it is the Tim Burton-ness of it, because I think that we're used to seeing Tim Burton's brand of creepy as sort of defanged, and, you know...
It's like Lolita goth, kind of, like, aesthetic. The stage show is something more like, I don't know.
Well, it's Bram,
it's Brechtian.
Whatever the fuck, that I'm gonna mispronounce the shit out of that.
Bram Stoker's Dracula as opposed to Stephen Moffat's Dracula?
Possibly.
That name in this house.
This is a Stephen Moffat free zone.
Oh no, we've lost another... Oh, there he goes.
Good riddance.
I will kick him on his way out.
That's another one that's on site.
Yeah, I would love the chance to kick Stephen Moffat.
To be fair, not to Stephen Moffat, to the movie, Stephen Sondheim did say in Finishing the Hat that he liked certain aspects of the Sweeney Todd movie, and I was like, okay, do tell, because I respect your opinion about your own work. Continue. And I think particularly what he said was a good idea was the cutting of the ballads of Sweeney Todd, as great as they are and as essential as they are to the stage show, because he said, like, once you have that, like, interrupting the action, you can't do that all the time in the movie. You have to keep things moving, and having it not the constant, but the interruption of the Ballad of Sweeney Todd, which is about to tell you either what has just happened or what is about to happen, doesn't really work cinematically, or it acts as a good transition thing for theater. It does mean, and like cutting also the prologue, which is so badass.
That's what I was gonna say.
That tells you to, attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. It's like, well, we're attending it, so let's do that. I mean, I don't. I mean, that's a fair point. I just think that then that means if that's the better cinematic choice, then I can't ever be satisfied with a movie adaptation of Sweeney Todd, because I like all the theatrical aspects of it, including that. So.
Yeah, on-stage narration is always really hard to get in film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I saw the Into the Woods movie, but I don't remember how they handled it.
I don't either. I feel
like they have to have cut it, because I would have had an opinion.
Yeah, because you would have noticed if they hadn't.
I vaguely remember there being some appearances by our good friend Text on Screen, saying like X years later, you know, like that sort of.
But
fucking the woods.
Yeah, you know,
none of the pulling the narrator into the story.
Not that I recall.
IMDb tells me that James Corden plays both the baker and the narrator.
There must be some voiceover.
He does some voiceover work.
Something is going on there, but nothing like what they did with the original. That ends with the the narrator being killed.
Look, much like the fact that Into the Woods Jr. is just the first act of Into the Woods is a fucking abomination.
Wait, what?
Into the Woods, in which you do not have the characters turn on the narrator and kill him, is not Into the Woods.
Wait a minute, okay, pause. The Into the Woods movie is only the first act of Into the Woods?
Into the Woods Junior. Anytime that a high school or a middle school does the show, they only do the first act.
Okay.
We did it in high school, and we did the whole show.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
no, well, I say any. That's the
there.
Show
There
that
is a version that is
licensed to.
Cowards do this. Cowards do this. The same people who adapt Rent for high school, and they do. But, like, they have diabetes. And so
wait, I'm sorry, what?
Really?
That fucking post!
That doesn't translate.
They did what?
That doesn't translate. Apparently, there's a high school production of Rent where they didn't want to talk about.
Then why would you do Rent?
Be a thing that people said. So fair point. That's logical, isn't it? They replaced it with like diabetes, so all the characters have diabetes.
Oh my god!
Because that's something that you can get from sharing a needle with someone.
That's comparable.
To sidetail briefly into Rent, if I may.
Oh, go ahead. I mean, you heard me literally almost start crying talking about it last episode.
I did. I was going to say, I know you guys already talked about it some, but that was just so incredibly formative for me. And I did experience the movie first. Like, I got into it because the movie came out and then listened to the original Broadway cast recording and memorized, like, every freaking word of it. And That's
How much of La Vie Boheme do you still know off by heart?
probably all of it. Yeah.
I figured out I figured out a while back that the answer to that question is way more than I thought I did.
We'll have to prove it to ourselves in a karaoke at our own home someday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about, was that much like Leah was talking about earlier with Les Mis sort of changing the landscape of musical theater, that's something that Rent did again, and that is also actually something that Hamilton did. And it's something that I was reading a really interesting take on about the way that Rent opened theater spaces to young adults in a way that they hadn't been open before, on Broadway at least, and how it became so much more common to like people will talk about the downgrading of theater with people showing up in jeans and a t-shirt, but if all you have is jeans and a t-shirt, shouldn't you still be able to go see a show? And how Rent introduced the idea of lottery seats, which then Hamilton took and ran with, and created again a sort of different take, which is something that we've seen happen with stuff like Les Mis, obviously with Hair. I think was the first huge shakeup that I can think of, but that's something that Rent, whatever. I feel like a lot of the problems that people have with Rent, myself included now when I sit down and actually think about it, is that it's sort of become cringe culture, because we all loved it so much. And I'm not saying that that's like the only flaw that it has. I'm not saying it's a perfect show or a perfect musical or a perfect film, but like when I sit down and think about it, I still fucking love Rent, y'all.
There's a soft spot in my heart for it, for sure.
For me, it's because I've now, my biggest issue is now as a trans person coming at the narrative. And we don't need to get into this, but Rent, I don't, and I should do some research and double check. I don't think Rent had any input from a trans person.
Probably not. Well, it is very much a times capsule, I think, not to cut you off, sorry, but just a time capsule of what a person's take on queer culture at the time was.
Right.
So, like, not only a slightly removed, I think Jonathan Larson was bi, if not gay.
I think he was straight,
He
actually.
was straight.
He was heavily involved in the queer community at the time, but he was kind of the mark figure, right? So we have this outsider's take on a culture that is then inevitably also a time capsule of it. So I can totally see why. Yeah.
Yes, and
I think the wildest thing is I always forget that Mark as a character is supposed to be straight because I'm so into Anthony.
Me too, because he's also not.
And two, I'm so locked into Anthony Rapp as Mark and how how much of an activist he has always been. Where I'm just
for three things: the Anthony Rapp thing, the fact that he's just not as a character, and the fact that I relate to him so much, unfortunately, sometimes when I listen to that show. And there's also that production that someone I've been following online for a long time has talked about, a production that they saw during what's the song where they're all like having sex and masturbating? What's that one? Contact. Thank you. Children, stop listening. That song, there's a production, I think it was like the final production of this particular show, where it's like all three of the couples and then Mark by himself masturbating, where he shouts Roger's name at the end of it. And yeah, they told me about that, and I haven't been able to like stop thinking about that every time I listen to Rent.
I totally cut you off though, Matty. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. I mean, that was just going to be the end of it. Is now for me, it's like it is hard to listen to parts of Rent now because it gets to me in a particular way. Both like I listened to it a lot when I was going through some really difficult depression, and and there are songs that really resonated with me that now it's really spoke to me and blah blah blah. But also like it's difficult to listen to Angel dies and immediately everyone begins to misgender her, and that is very scary,
including her partner.
And I think part of it is it was written as someone who was looking at drag culture, misinterpreted drag culture as like, this is someone who's a drag queen. It's like you were probably hanging out with a lot more trans women than you thought you were. That just like a misinterpretation of that's what was going on. But Angel, it's hard for me to interpret Angel as anything except for a trans woman.
Yeah.
Who did drag probably.
Right.
But and so it's just hard. But I still love Rent very much. It's obviously, we talked about it a lot on the last episode. It's very important, but like Yeah, and that's something
That's
that
really
the
important,
movie
too.
did not get rid of or
No.
adjust, and I don't think anyone really has since because no one ever went to a trans person and was like, hey, should we not do this? Because I'm pretty sure I would have been like, hey, you can keep everything, just don't misgender Angel the moment she's dead.
Yeah.
Because boy, if that isn't the fear of many trans people I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just my thought on
That's a
Rent.
super good point that I've had the privilege to not have to think about, so thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, no,
That's really upsetting, yeah.
can't think about it too hard, really.
That's really important. I mean, and that movie doesn't work on quite a few levels, partly because again, it's directed by Chris Columbus, which is a
I'm sorry,
choice.
what?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The director of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
And Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets!
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, this
Holy
is true.
butts.
Yeah, and they had been, and I think somebody mentioned this. I think actually Lindsay Ellis mentioned this in her video about Rent. Like Rent came out in like the mid-90s, right? And it was such a huge success that people, I think it was in talks to be a movie for a while, but various things happened, and then a movie wasn't made until 2005, 10 years later. So you have this show about people in their early to mid 20s in New York who act like a bunch of early to mid 20-year-old shits. Like the characters are much younger, and then oh my god, are you kidding me right now? Hello. And then they brought back most of the original cast for the movie, but everybody was 10 years older. Yeah. That's not a comment on like how good those people were for their roles, and I love Anthony Rapp very much, and like Jesse L. Martin and everybody whose name I can't think of right now. I think like. And I also like the people that they brought in to replace Joanne and
Daphne Rubin
and whatever. But
she wasn't there personally. I don't care for her voice.
Me neither, actually.
That's fair. Rosario Dawson's on my shit list right now, unfortunately, for stuff that we don't have to get into right now. But like they're all in their 30s at that point, and for some reason the plot of all of these people acting like 20-year-olds didn't really come off very well in this movie that was directed by the guy who directed Home Alone and the first two Harry Potter movies. And I just think...
Very good point.
This is actually making me think that maybe I should revisit Rent, because I saw Rent for the first time when I was 23, and it was just the movie, and it did nothing for me.
Yeah.
And hearing that maybe the movie is not the version I should be watching...
Well, no. Oh, no. I mean, not to say that, like, the original Broadway cast is, like, miles better or anything. It's still very much the same show in many ways, but, like, the recording original Broadway is very much superior.
Okay. And there's more music.
Yeah, and I found it the same way through Madeline, too, where, like, the movie came out, and I asked my dad, who had control of the iTunes when I was 12, like, hey, can you buy Rent for me? And he bought it, but he bought the original Broadway cast recording thinking that was what I was after, and so I put that on my iPod Shuffle instead. And so I couldn't listen to it in order. I just had Rent on there, but I couldn't...
iPod Shuffles were the devil's invention.
They were the devil's, they were Satan's very own toy, and I just kind of shuffled through and was like, this is all very jarring and strange, and that person doesn't have a very nice voice. And then I got to Tango Maureen, and listened to it about, I roughly about 100 million times, I think, before moving on. Yeah. So, that's the ones that are good.
My belief has always been that I just came to Rent too late.
That's also fair.
That's also possible, yeah.
I mean, in the same way as it is about those early 20-somethings acting, if anything, a little young for their age. I mean, I think it's very much about young people with a early taste of freedom and having to reckon with a lot of the darkness the world has to offer, right? So I think it totally makes sense that it appeals a lot to high schoolers who haven't gotten that taste of freedom yet and so desperately want it.
Like Spring Awakening.
Like Spring Awakening.
Like Spring Awakening. What if they made a movie of Spring Awakening?
Stop.
Dunk on it right now, but
Take it back right now.
I take it back.
Don't speak it into existence.
Yeah.
What did you say? What'd you say?
Madeline said, what if they made a movie of Spring Awakening?
You see, but they already did something, though, which was better, which was that the cast of the touring production of Spring Awakening did a web
I
series
remember
Oh,
that.
yes.
That was good.
Okay.
called Extended Run, and so that's the only movie that's
Spring Awakening is a checklist of heavy topics to talk to your teenager about.
Correct.
Sure.
Narrated by
It
Duncan
is,
Sheik.
it's fucking chicken soup for the teenage 18th century German soul, or whatever. 19th century
The
German.
Bitch of Living is good, though.
Okay, The Bitch of Living is good, though.
Which if the thing slaps, I can sing the entire thing, and I won't do it right
What's
now.
the like after school special or whatever?
Yes.
Like the PSAs.
Yes.
I just had this incredibly visceral and somewhat strange association between the guy who sang The Bitch of Living, whatever character that is in the original Broadway cast, and the dude who plays Jaskier in The Witcher. They just remind
If it's Andy
me of
Mentis,
one
it's on
another.
site because he's the one who kept stopping shows to like stop bootleggers.
Joey Beatty.
I am going. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, no. They look reasonably alike, and also he is my enemy.
John Gallagher
Yeah.
Jr., I think.
Yeah, I
Not-
don't know why
not-
those two people. I don't think they even look alike. My brain went. I just imagined the guy who plays Jaskier, whose name I can't remember right.
Joey
this second.
Beatty.
Yeah, I just went. Wow, was Joey Beatty ever in Spring Awakening? He should have been.
He has a face for Spring Awakening.
He does.
Yeah,
Absolutely. He looks like he stepped right out of it. Yeah.
yeah. Can we talk about?
Good ones?
So I was just gonna say, let's do just a quick, like, a lightning round of, like, alright, top movie musicals.
Oof.
Okay, that one's hard.
Shrek. Shrek is not a movie musical.
I would like to bring up bring up the stuff I haven't mentioned yet, and you can presume that the stuff I've talked about positively before is something that I like. We haven't talked about Rocky Horror Picture Show all that much. I like Rocky Horror.
I like it too, but I don't like going to the theater.
No, I don't like going to see it with other people. You can do that once, and that's about all I can take.
Yeah, I've done it twice.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's one time too many.
did they make you do stuff?
No, I always sat in the back and I was quiet, but my friend Dorian did get up and do the thing.
I blocked it out. I was wearing my UBC sweatshirt when I went to see it, and they made me do something. I can't remember what it was.
I would prefer to watch it in the quiet of my own home.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that with me too, because I have the 25th anniversary edition on DVD, which has a track of audience members doing the
Let's
callbacks,
do it.
the
Me
call-outs.
too, actually.
Yeah. Little Shop of Horrors is very good. Muppet Treasure Island is very good. The 90s adaptation of Cinderella with Brandy and
Excellent.
Whitney Houston is
Excellent.
incredible.
Yeah, I would love to actually take a second to talk about that one. The 1997 World of Disney version of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring Brandy as Cinderella and Whoopi Goldberg and Bernadette Peters, Whitney Houston, Jason Alexander. Jason Alexander is transcendent in that movie.
He's so good. Everyone is perfect in that movie.
And talk about really excellent and impactful as a child colorblind casting. Like, it never occurred to me to question why that family was comprised of the people it was comprised of. It was the given circumstances that these were the parents and this was the kid, and here we go. Like, man, good stuff.
Agreed.
Also very well sung. I have it on DVD. We can watch it
I
later.
haven't
Don't worry
seen
about
it in
it.
forever.
We should have a watch along because I have it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
There's just so many movies from like the 90s especially that I just have not seen because I
Mhm.
didn't see a movie until 2006.
Yeah.
When
Fair.
I was 2005 when I was 10, and that movie was Mary Poppins, which might be a segue. Is it a
Love a
segue?
Mary
Sure.
Poppins.
I love Mary Poppins. God bless Dick Van Dyke, man.
We like Dick Van
yes.
Dyke, yeah.
Yeah, the dude who the Mary Poppins like quote unquote sequel or whatever was kind of hit or miss for me. But boy was it fun that he was still down to clown.
He's amazing.
He is.
He is amazing.
Yeah, that was the first movie I ever saw.
That is so crazy to me.
I'm pretty sure someone had to explain to me what suffragettes were, which meant, explaining that women got the right to vote after men, let alone when women of color got the right to vote. And I remember just being like, I'm sorry, what?
Little suffragette Madeline.
Why?
Bless.
Mary Robinette Kowal said it's about the 90s Cinderella that it's not about adding diversity for the sake of diversity. It's about subtracting homogeneity for the sake of realism. And I just butchered that word, but it's true.
What a incredibly true and incredibly pithy way.
Was she the director of that?
No, I don't think so. It's just something that she said about just general stuff, I think.
Because, yeah, she's an author and I guess a puppeteer. That's cool.
Yes, it's just something that she said that people put onto that gift set and used for Cinderella. Nice. But it still applies.
Hey,
anyway,
you know what? I'm just thinking about movie musicals that preserve the sort of inherent unreality of the theatricality of a musical in a way that still works on screen, because that's something we've the mismatch between those two is a big problem with a lot of musical adaptations that don't work as well.
Is it Mamma Mia?
I love Mamma Mia. Is it good? No. Does it
love
slap?
Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. Mamma Mia rules, but it's not good.
Correct.
Mamma Mia rules.
You know what? And it's automatically disqualified from being good by the fact that I had to see Stellan Skarsgård's ass.
Also, Pierce Brosnan can't sing, and it bothered me when I saw it in theaters with my mom.
There's that beautiful quote that was just everyone can sing, just some people can't sing in a way that's monetizable, and I believe that that's true because all humans can sing. I just would really like it if Pierce Brosnan didn't make me listen to just him singing ABBA
Guys,
ever again.
You'll hate to hear it, but we just lost another listener.
Goodbye, Pierce. We hardly knew ya.
Oh my god.
This is the hit list of Sneeple at the Movies. How many actors can we get to say goodbye?
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about how good the movie of Chicago is.
It's very good.
The Cell Block Tango is transcendent.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Changed a whole generation of gays.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I also didn't, I think I haven't seen that movie very much, but I got the soundtrack for some reason when I was 10 or 11 when that movie came out, and listened to that until it was permanently embedded into my brain. So I love that recording of it.
When I went to college, they had a drag show on orientation day, and the first drag king did Mr. Cellophane.
Hot.
That was my hard relate song in high school. I thought that when I was a kid, I thought that When You're Good to Mama was about kind of secretly how she was also a lesbian, and then I saw other adaptations of the show, and they're like, oh no, that's not what she's talking about, and I've always kind of been but are you sure about that?
But how sure are you that it's not about the song?
I mean, look, I was just gonna say I was horny for Queen Latifah in that movie, before I even really understood that was what I was feeling. Formative. Even I, as a 11-year-old, heard the lyric, "You put in for mama, she'll put out for you," not as also oh, I'll have sex with the other prison guards, but also other stuff as well. Yeah.
I understood that as an 11-year-old. I don't know. Maybe it's just my incredible gay superpowers. Anyone else want to talk about stuff?
I mean, I'm sorry. I just got lost thinking about how sexy Queen Latifah is in that movie.
You're right, and you should say it.
Moulin Rouge, good.
Moulin Rouge, great.
Moulin Rouge, beautiful.
Potentially slightly unpopular opinion, not in a bad way. My favorite number of the whole thing is the opening. There Was a Boy. What is that called?
Because it's beautiful. My hot take about Moulin Rouge is that it's perfect, and it would be even more perfect if Christian was a butch lesbian.
And you're so correct. When you're right, you're right.
Hey, remember how David Wenham was in that movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I sure do. Hey, David Wenham, we still love you.
Wait a
Please
minute.
keep listening to our podcast.
Man, speaking of Queen Latifah and movie musicals, Hairspray is nowhere on here.
Yeah, because I don't like the movie very much. I love
the stage play, but...
Love the stage play.
I think the main actress in it is great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
she's really
definitely-
good.
Well, there's a lot of there's some good casting and
I
bad
mean, John
casting.
Travolta's in it, and that was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
My dad has referred to him as John Revolting for pretty much his entire career. No, the best part of that is that anytime you bring up Grease, the other one is he likes to refer to Olivia Newton-John as Olivia Neutron Bomb.
Oh my god, that's so good.
No. I saw a production of Hairspray at Oregon Shakespeare Festival this summer, and it was
nice.
extremely fun.
Oh,
and
I heard
just
such
think
good
that-
things about that.
Oh, it was so good.
I saw Hairspray at the Fifth Avenue Theater before it transferred to Broadway.
Oh.
Yeah, so I actually saw like the original cast of Hairspray in the out of town tryouts.
Wow.
Including, I'm like, is that the dude who then went on to play the creepy teacher on Glee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matthew Morrison.
So,
yes,
so I
you're
saw
correct.
Matthew Morrison as Link before he got famous in other shit. So
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I also saw Aaron Tveit in the Catch Me If You Can musical, like, before that went to Broadway. For, the wildest thing is, I actually, floating around, I have a rehearsal CD of the Catch Me If You Can musical because, like, one of the people who had, like, basically been a teacher for the youth theater thing that I participated in was in the ensemble of it and sold one of my friends his car
Oh my god.
and left his rehearsal that's like still had his rehearsal CD from Catch Me If You Can in it. And then of course we all shared it.
Amazing.
I just want to point out before we get too far away from it that you've done a whole episode, 2 episodes at this point, I believe. And that was the first time anyone's mentioned Glee. Congrats.
Yeah, good work.
Oh my god, you guys, we did it!
Yeah, I remember not understanding what show choir was, so I started watching Glee because I was all excited because I thought it was about high school theater, and then it wasn't, and then I never recovered.
See,
Yeah.
that's my problem. My main problem with it is that people are like, "Oh, this is what musical theater is," and I'm like,
No, it's
I've
not.
never heard of a fucking Glee club in my life. What is this?
Yeah,
what
what's
is
this?
this?
They're not.
Is this a real
They're
thing?
not common on the West Coast. I think it's like lacrosse.
Yeah,
nobody
I don't know,
does.
man.
There is no such thing as show choir. Before we move on, I need to mention one thing. Which is, one, they're remaking Little Shop of Horrors, and I'm extremely suspicious about it because the original musical movie of Little Shop of Horrors is perfect. And two, I tried to buy my best friend at the time the Little Shop of Horrors original Broadway cast recording for her birthday, and my dad accidentally got the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Not quite.
Close enough.
I was like, close.
Here's what I'm suspicious about with the Little Shop of Horrors remake. Scarlett Johansson as
No.
yeah.
Boo.
Plus side, Taron Egerton.
Ooh.
Taron Egerton, although he's a little too hot, that's fine. I'll accept it.
He's too sexy.
He's too sexy, but I'll accept it. And then Chris Evans as the dentist, if he can sing, very good.
That part, yeah, that's fine. I just,
Extremely good.
Isn't Chris Evans' dad actually a dentist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seymour, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but
Yeah.
Seymour is a very specific Jewish stereotype, and Taron Egerton is just too goyish for that.
That is fair.
For me.
Valid, yeah. So Rick Moranis was really perfect in that part.
Yeah. You know why? Because Rick Moranis is a walking Jewish stereotype. I love him, and that's why I love him, but he is, I'm right.
He did a great interview recently about kind of coming back to film a little bit more and how he's only been taking, projects that he's really been interested in. The whole reason that he dropped out of film was his wife passed away and he became a single dad to his kids. And he was like, that's more important to me, which is, I think, just really incredible.
He's fantastic in that movie. I love him.
Rick
love
Moranis, good
love
people.
him in Little Shop of Horrors. And in everything that he does, pretty much.
He's
Easily,
really
like,
is.
along with Sigourney Weaver, easily the best part of the original Ghostbusters, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hot take. Should we How much time do we have on here?
None. We have none time.
We have none time with left. We're over.
It's a good thing that you stopped me from talking about Once More with Feeling then, because we could be here for a while.
Yes.
You get to do another episode about that.
I'll
come back for the Les Mis episode.
Perfect. I'll come back for Buffy. I'll make you guys do a Buffy watch with me. Who else? Z, you've seen some of Buffy?
I have seen everything up to the first 5 episodes of season 7, at which point I got bored.
That's right. We had this discussion because we talked about how much I love the end of season 7. I was literally crying in my car thinking about it earlier, but that's because I have a fever. But I was just going to say that we should have a Buffy watch and then we can do a Buffy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would love to do a Buffy episode. I would love to talk about Buffy fandom.
Man, the last time Joss Whedon was good.
Real talk.
Okay. Any final thoughts? Anything?
Well, as much as it was fun to rag on some of the things that do them poorly, my hot take is that musical movies good. Musical movies good, y'all. That's my hot take.
Musicals are good in general.
Musicals are one of my favorite things, like, on the planet, and which is why I have such strong opinions when they are... I'm very protective of them, so I get upset when they're handled badly, or the adaptation I feel doesn't adequately respect their status as a work of art on their own terms.
That's exactly right, yeah.
I like musicals, but I'll only ever love 3 musicals.
What are they?
They're really boring.
Well, you can't just say I only love 3 musicals and not say.
Les Mis.
It's Les Mis.
Into the Woods?
Into the Woods. And unfortunately, Phantom.
Hey, that's fair.
No, I think that's actually a very good section of things. I fucking love Phantom.
Phantom is really good. Everybody just go home and watch the 25th anniversary production.
My shitty high school theater teacher once called Phantom Andrew Lloyd Webber's experimentation in the range of keys from D to F, and I've never recovered. Because he is unfortunately correct. My beef with Phantom is entirely that it's 3 musical themes that are very good and then reused over and over instead of making new songs.
But it's simple.
And they slap.
They slap, but there's only 3 of them.
That seems like a good note to end on. A good 3 notes to end on.
3 notes.
Hey, there's a part of the filler music in one of the early songs in Phantom that sounds distinctly like it came from Thriller.
Oh my god,
and when me and my high school friends went to go see the tour, we all spontaneously started doing the part of the Thriller dance.
Oh my god, I love it.
I know exactly what part you mean.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, take us away.
Yeah, we will see ourselves out of your earbuds, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneeple at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake, or shoot us an email at sneepleatthemovies@gmail.com. Our amazing music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. That's Johnny with an H, 2 N's, and a Y. Our super snazzy logo was designed by Bethany Leuthold. Check her out at Bethany Leuthold, leuthold.wixsite, wixsite.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or if you think you have more Les Mis recordings than Leia, come say hello. Also, if you can, please leave a review on iTunes and share the show with any friends who you think would enjoy it. Any way you can spread the news really helps us so much and helps us keep up our momentum, and we would appreciate it. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.